Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to look at how to start PCOS treatment.
We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, y'all, I just want to briefly let you know the trip to the Smoky Mountains, February 6th through the 9th is nearly over, okay? At the day that you see this video is probably going to be the last day for you to sign up to go. But what I'm going to say is we have, I believe, one room left. It's a queen room, okay? It's $850. You're going to get 3 days in the it's a mansion-sized cabin. We're going to provide meals. We're going to be coaching you all for the entire 3 days. We're going to teach you how to cook. There are all sorts of crazy amenities. We got a theater. We got a pool, an indoor pool. We have foosball tables, pool tables. We're gonna do meditation sessions. It's going to be phenomenal. We got 4 coaches coming, technically 5. And we would love for you all to come. There's one spot left. So if you wanted to come, hey, sign up, because why not? Like, we might as well fill it up. All right, be blessed. So what is PCOS? It is polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, this is a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. The cause is not very well understood, but they think that it might be, genetics or environmental. They don't know. Now, it's believed that PCOS cannot be cured. Let's look at some of the symptoms. You're talking menstrual irregularities, infertility, excess hair, excessive acne, and obesity. So look at this list of diseases and how it affects women. I mean, these are some of the most sensitive parts of a woman's life, all the way down to their ability to have children. This is a very, very nasty disorder, and telling women that there's no real option for reversing and dealing with this, I think, is inhumane, right? So now let's look at some of the treatment options that traditional medicine is going to offer. You're talking about birth control. You're talking about metformin, hormone therapy, and then, of course, hair removal techniques. I think that these are some really harsh realities that women with PCOS think they have to deal with. Part of the reason why I'm doing this video is because I've been getting a lot of questions from women about diseases, certain diseases that kind of pertain to women specifically. And as I was thinking about, what my video was going to be about today, I got a comment asking for me to go more in depth or to do a follow-up on PCOS. For those who don't know, I did a couple of videos with my sister, Queen Vadi, and we talked about her battle with PCOS, because when we very first brought her on the show, that was one of the things she was dealing with. Now, I'm happy to say that at this point in time, she has reversed many of the ailments that are associated with PCOS, but keep in mind that everyone's journey is different. If she were to stick with the program, be really, really consistent, not dealing with backtracking and, life happening, I believe that she would be completely reversed. And if you talk to her about it now, I'm sure that she'll tell you that it's so much infinitely better. I don't really know. She doesn't really complain too much about symptoms anymore, so I don't really know. But I wanted to tell you all what you could do if you're dealing with PCOS. I wanted to tell you what you could do, and if you want to really lock down and work hard and be consistent, how you can kind of avoid dealing with this thing for the rest of your life. So, number one, PCOS is completely reversible. When they talk about it being environmental or genetic, I completely disagree with it being genetic. It's not genetic at all. Environmental, yes. But what are we talking about when we talk about the environment? Are we talking about the air we breathe, the water we drink? Are we talking about the people we're around? I feel like environment needs to be understood better. When I read environmental, I'm thinking consumption. I'm thinking, what are you eating and what are you consuming? Not just what you put in your mouth, but what you put on your skin. I think that part of the reason why this disease is so prevalent in modern society is because women put a lot of really toxic chemicals on their body without knowing or thinking about it. This reminds me of a lady who she had passed away. I don't know why she passed away, but when they did the detox and they opened up her skull, they found that she had a green slime on her brain. You know, that gel that protects your brain from kind of slamming up against the skull. There was a green slime, kind of mixed in, and it was essentially from the relaxers she was getting, right? So, people who do hair, they probably understand that these chemicals are very toxic. A lot of times when you use relaxers and dyes and things, you're not supposed to go all the way to the scalp, right? That's the reason why sometimes it burns when you are, if you get some of that stuff on your scalp. It's a highly toxic product. These products are highly toxic. I don't think we really understand that. We do it because we want to look a certain way or whatever the case may be, and you're really damaging your system. Now, that's just one small example. You also have to look at your lipstick. What are the shampoos that you're using? But when you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, what are the feminine hygiene products that you're using? Right? I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about glyphosate. I think it's called the danger of glyphosate or something of that nature, where I talk about how we don't realize this, but these feminine hygiene products are made out of cotton oftentimes, right? Tampons, pads, etc. And you're putting them on the most sensitive part of your body, okay? Now, cotton within itself is not really bad or any big deal, right? But what do they spray the crops with? They spray crops with pesticides. And then some of the crops are genetically modified so that they have an internal pesticide so that bugs just don't mess with it. Then we take that product, right, that cotton product that's made or genetically modified or has pesticides added to it, and then we make a feminine hygiene product out of it. And now those chemicals, that toxicity is able to go right into your bloodstream. Another major cause of PCOS, believe it or not, is birth control. A lot of women who were put on birth control as children, especially to regulate their periods and things of that nature, now deal with PCOS, fibroids, as well as infertility. These types of issues are all associated with birth control and consumption. Like, what are you allowing to go into your system? So now that we kind of have a rough idea of what causes it, and don't get it twisted, the food you put in your body also plays a role as well. We're going to get into all of that. But now that we kind of have a foundation for why this happens, let's look at how we can reverse it. So, number one, let's find some of these root causes and eliminate them from our lives. Meaning, if you're just going to Kroger, Walmart, or wherever and just buying the tampons that are on the shelf or the pads that are on the shelf, it's time to do research. Now, I'm not a woman. I have not done this research for myself, so I can't suggest any brands to you all. I just know that there are companies and brands out there that exist that have organic feminine hygiene products. They're going to probably cost more. They're probably going to be a little bit harder to find. But I guarantee you that this is not just going to help you with reversing PCOS, but just having, if you have strong menstrual cycles in general, this is going to help correct it. Like, all of the information I'm giving you all today, whether you're dealing with specifically infertility, heavy periods, or PCOS, this is all going to aid you. So just listen up. So find a company that makes organic, natural feminine hygiene products. That's number one. Number two, look at your health and beauty products. Look at your shampoo. Look at your soap. Look at your toothpaste, right? I want you to take a good look at the lipstick, the lip gloss, everything you use, the mouthwash. And I want you to look for alternatives to whatever you're using right now. I understand that there are popular brands and some things give you a better look and feel and whatever than other things. But what we're talking about today is your health above everything else, your health above the aesthetics, your health above, whatever the case may be, whatever you might be thinking, put your health first. Because if you want to live a long, happy, healthy life, be able to have children, not deal with, obesity and excess hair and acne, right? What's the reason why women use makeup, traditionally speaking, is to make their face look more flawless, right? Well, that's something that you can do. You can give that to yourself. You just have to be intentional about what you're consuming, right? Of course, you want to drink more water, and we're going to look at dietary habits here in a second, but you can have naturally beautiful skin. Now, I get compliments on my skin all the time. My skin is not flawless, but it's better than most people's. It wasn't always this way. The reason my skin is like this is because I've adopted the habits and the traits that I'm going to be talking about today. So this is just a brief example, right? Acne was one of the issues that women deal with when it comes to PCOS. And I understand that you all want to cover that up. You want to look your best. I get it. But there's a natural way to do it, and you don't have to worry about all the negative outcomes that come along with using some of these toxic products. So find healthy alternatives to the products you're already using. Maybe just go ahead and eliminate some of the products, and that is going to get you well on your way to actually reversing this issue. Now, one of the other things they mentioned was birth control, as well as metformin are treatments, as well as hormone therapy. These are treatments that women can use to help to, I guess to mitigate the symptoms of PCOS. It's not going to actually reverse it. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe, so I always like to let you all know this is always going to be 100% your decision. But I would recommend that you take a good hard look at those types of drugs, especially if you're on those drugs or those hormones. Take a look at them. Take a look at the side effects that come along with them. I mean, metformin is traditionally given to the diabetics. And I talk to a lot of diabetics. They hate that medication. So I can only imagine that you all who are dealing with PCOS, who might be on metformin, are in the same boat. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion, okay? One of our admins is an essential oil specialist, and I'm going to give you all her email. It's going to also be in the description, and I'll probably put it in the chat. If you all are on any of those medications and you don't feel comfortable just simply getting off of them, I would highly recommend that you just set up a call with Marchellea, one of our admins, one of our coaches, and talk about alternatives to the medication. We like to use essential oils because all of the medication is derived from plants in the first place, plus you don't get the side effects. So we can help wean you off your medications or give you an option outside of the medications to not only help bolster everything that we're talking about today as far as reversing PCOS, but also giving you that peace of mind that if you have a specific issue going on, you'll have an alternative you could use outside of the medication. So her email is marchellea@ahealthyalternative.org. And like I said, that information will be in the description and probably in the comment section. Okay, so now that we've covered some of the less talked about issues with PCOS and kind of the ground rules, now we're going to get into the dietary habits. All right. Now, my sister utilized strictly fasting to reverse most of the symptoms associated with her PCOS condition. She wasn't really eating that well. I think at the time she was struggling with smoking cigarettes. She was also smoking weed. So it wasn't as if she was doing this flawlessly. And over the period of, let's say, maybe 8 months or so, most of the issues that she dealt with as far as like PCOS, they started to go away, right? So this is going to be very beneficial. We're going to talk about, and you don't have to be 100% perfect, but the closer to perfection, we'll say, the closer to the perfection you are, the quicker you'll see results. And of course, you could potentially reverse it completely. I'm very confident in that. You have to increase your water intake. This is something we talk about on literally almost every video, okay? Hydration is so important. I cannot overstate it. Now remember, hydration is not just drinking water. You also have to increase the quality of your water. So cut up some lemon, some lime, or some mint, or some cucumber, or whatever you like, strawberries. Cold steep it in your water for about 4 hours. That just means put the slices in your water for about 4 hours and then drink it. That's going to make your water more hydrating, okay? I want you all drinking anywhere from 3/4 of a gallon to a gallon of water a day, and make sure that you sip, 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 sip all day long, right? Don't drink more than about 16 ounces per hour. Also, on the other side of the spectrum, we got to get away from coffee. We got to get away from, drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. Definitely want to get away from the dairy. We don't want to be drinking milk. We don't want to be eating ice cream, and also anything else that would dehydrate you. Okay. So, meats, dairy products, processed foods, refined sugars, all of these products are going to dehydrate you. They're mucus forming. They're all going to detract from the benefits of what we're doing, drinking the water, potentially fasting, or however you like to approach this. Now, I want to say, because this video might draw the attention from people who aren't used to the community, if you don't know anything about fasting, if it's not something that you're interested in doing, you can achieve very, very similar results nearly as quickly as if you were using fasting by switching to a raw food diet. Okay? Now, I understand that raw food is a big jump. And I'm not telling you that you have to do raw food for the rest of your life. But what I'm saying is, for a period of time, depending on how well you're locked in, it could be as little as 3 months, maybe about 6 months is probably pretty reasonable for you to deal with most, if not all, of these ailments. But you wanna lock into raw food for about 3 to 6 months, okay, while you go through this process. If you're not gonna be using fasting, it's going to take a little bit longer. But if you couple raw food eating with removing the toxic chemicals that you put in your body, it kind of helps speed up the process. So we can look at all of the suggestions I'm making. If you were to just moderately approach each of the suggestions, maybe you don't get rid of all the toxic products, but you get rid of over half of them. Maybe you don't stop eating all the toxic foods, but you eat mostly high water content foods and maybe raw foods. Maybe you're not perfect with everything, but you create balance for yourself. You can still see amazing results, I'm telling you. Okay. Now, there's another piece of this puzzle that I'm going to add as like the icing on top. There is a product, it's a nutraceutical that we have just recently started talking about. It's called Clean Slate. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the link to this product, it's probably going to be in the description and in the comment section. You have to use the link to purchase the product. It's an invite only community. But this company has a product that will actually remove glyphosate. So we talked about how the glyphosates are in the feminine hygiene products. They're in the food, they're in the air, they're everywhere. But the problem is there's excessive amounts of it in your system. So a product like Clean Slate will go in, attach to these toxins, and usher them out of your body. It also does a phenomenal job of doing the same thing to heavy metals, right? And the importance of this is heavy metals are not designed to ever be in our system. So when they get in our system, they really do damage our immunity. So our immune system would traditionally protect us from things like glyphosates, but because the heavy metals are in there being an enormous, obnoxious obstacle, the body has a hard time dealing with environmental toxins. So this is an amazing product that works across the board. It's really, really good for removing heavy metals, glyphosates, and making the body function more optimally. Now, there's one more product in their lineup that I have to recommend for you all. There's three in their main product, which is called the Trinity. But there's one of the other products in the Trinity that if you're concerned with acne, if you're concerned with having clean skin, if that is one of the things that you want, their Restore product is insane. We just got a testimonial. And for those of you, if you decide to use the Root product, we'll be inviting you to our Telegram group. But we just got a testimonial in the Telegram group of a woman who was using the Restore product on her face topically for about 6 months. Okay, now the product is designed to go internally, but you can also use it on the skin. Her skin is night and day. It is night and day, okay? I don't have permission from her to put it on the YouTube channel, but if you come into the group, you'll be able to see it. It's going to be in the feed. I'm telling you all, if you're dealing with acne, because I know PCOS because my sister was dealing with it. So I understand how it attacks your face and your skin. This is an amazing combination of tools that you can use to really combat this very quickly. All right. So I hope this helps. Shout out to, I can't remember your name off the top of my head, but maybe I'll throw the comment up there so y'all can see. If you all get benefit from this video, you have her to thank for it. I probably would have done it anyway because this is a topic that was on my list, but the timing of the question, me seeing it, everything was perfect. So you guys got it a little bit early. Merry Christmas, even though Christmas just passed. But yeah, I hope this helps you all. Don't forget, this also helps with obesity as well. So don't forget, all of the symptoms that are associated with PCOS will be addressed with this protocol. So we want to be eating, you want to stay away from meats, dairy products, processed foods, refined sugars. You want to eat more high water content foods. You want to drink more water. If you really want to nail this down, start eating raw food, or at the very least, whole food plant-based diet. Okay, there's plenty of channels on YouTube that can teach you how to adopt these diets. They are not boring. I promise you, I have eaten them all. I love the food that I eat now. So if you just give it a chance, you will get adapted to it. You're going to feel better. You're not going to be dealing with bloating. You're not going to be dealing with inflammation. You're not going to be dealing with heavy periods, cramping, all the pain that comes along with it. I'm telling you, this is going to transform your life. And I have a track record of women who can back me up, all right? So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, hey, subscribe. We do this every single Sunday. The goal here is to increase the amount of videos we're doing. So as we kind of get the team together, we'll be putting out more videos each week. We're going to be engaging with you all more and just giving you what you want and what you need. So as always, the application of knowledge is power. And guess what? I'll see you all next time.